What is up, everybody? You know the drill. It's your boy, Pigskin Pete. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Thank you all for joining me on this fine Wednesday evening. I say fine Wednesday evening, but it's getting cold and raining. Spring games coming up this weekend, starting in Clemson and South Carolina, and a couple of other schools as well, I believe. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But of course, before we do any of that, this is a call-in show. If you want to call into the show, the number to call in is 864-207-4522. 864-207-4522, if you can read. I see I've got some people on hold already. For all the people that are on hold, just sit tight. Let me go through my my drill here that I normally do. First thing I want to mention before I forget is I got a message from Caleb, the Spelling Bee host. I'm sure everybody's heard about his father had a heart attack by now. I think I saw Caleb in here earlier. Anyway, they've got a GoFundMe going to help pay the medical bills. Because for anybody who's had some sort of major health issue like that, and that's a major one, obviously, a heart attack, knows that the doctor bills pile up quickly, even with insurance. So I wish I would have remembered to copy and paste the link to that. I'm actually meant to do that, so sorry about that, Caleb. I don't know if somebody else has the link to that. You're welcome to post it. One of my moderators posted in the chat here. I apologize for that. Otherwise, if no one's able to do that, you can just go to my Twitter page if you have Twitter, and I retweeted out the information, the link to the GoFundMe. So everyone go check that out. Please help out Caleb and his dad. Thank you, Golden Blue Dude, for the super chat. It says, "Hey Pete, tell Caleb to start his channel. He needs a push." Yeah, I'll get it. I saw you guys chatting about that. During the intro there. I mean, look, I'm still trying to figure out this thing myself. I'll make this brief. He said he didn't have anything to start a YouTube channel about. Well, that's number one. You have to have something that you want to talk about and you can talk about on a regular basis. For me, it's college football, right? Although it's hard out here for a pimp right now during the off season. That's why I appreciate all of you that send super chats like Golden Blue Dude, and of course all the people that join the members of the channel. You guys are all amazing and fantastic. Speaking of making videos, this will be the last live show that I do for 2 weeks. So enjoy. I hope it's a great one. Of course, that all depends on the callers. No, but seriously, so this Friday I'm leaving to go to the spring game, so I won't be doing a live show, call-in show on Friday night like I normally do. And then on Monday I'm leaving to go to Orlando for a week. So no live shows at all next week. So the next time you'll see me live anywhere, I'm guessing, unless I happen to do a live stream from Orlando, like a random one or something, I don't know, will be 2 Mondays, a week and a half from now, Monday, for the Lunch Money Show. Of course, that's every Monday at 10 p.m. Of course, there will not be one this coming Monday, but the next Monday after that. So look forward to that. Look forward to a week away from here. I think we all need to get away every once in a while. You know what I mean? For a while. Anyway, so speaking of the spring game this weekend, I got my tickets today. There's 4 of us got tickets today. Clemson, like I said, Clemson is this Saturday, and I think there's a couple of other maybe lower classification schools. I don't know if there's any other Power 5 ones this week, but for the next 3 or 4 weeks, there'll be spring games every weekend across the country. Now, I don't really, the spring game doesn't mean anything. It's more of a, for at least for me anyway, I go every year with a group of guys that we go to have fun. Okay. And we like to go hang out Friday, go to the game Saturday, hang out Saturday, just make a weekend of it. And of course you'll get to see some of the new freshmen coming in. Maybe you'll get to see some of the guys that were injured last year, see how they look, but it's more of a social event than anything. I mean, it's a glorified scrimmage is all it really is. Some schools don't even really do full contact in the game. Clemson does do full contact. The only player you're not allowed to tackle or hit is the quarterback, and for Clemson. Now, some schools, like I said, they just do kind of soft, almost like flag, two-hand touch type thing, so that nobody gets hurt, which is maybe a smart move. But this weekend, I don't know what part of the country you guys are in or what state, but this weekend in Clemson, it's going to be cold. Now, I remember the last 2 years. Well, last year the spring game was canceled because of COVID, but I went up to Clemson anyway just to do my normal hanging out with the guys deal. But both last year and the year before, during the spring game, it was like 85 degrees. And anybody knows sitting in that stadium in Death Valley, it's all concrete. The stands are all concrete with metal benching. But anyway, it was like it's like a sauna in there. It's hot like the desert Death Valley. If it gets over 80 degrees in there, it's just something about that concrete. The heat just radiates off of it. So anyway, it's going to be in the 30s. I think Friday night is supposed to be in the 20s, like 28. High of 50 on game day. So not cold, but it's been 75 to between 75 and 85 degrees here for the past 2 weeks. And so right on spring game weekend, the temperature is going to drop massively. Thank you, Dylan Deloney, for the super chat. He says, what does he say? What non-con team do you wish Clemson would play? Well, the two that I can think of that they've never played in history, Michigan, and I want to say Texas. I believe they've never played Texas either. So that would be two that would interest me just because they've never played them. But I mean, unless it happens in the postseason, it's not going to happen in the near future. Anyway, so anybody who's planning on coming to the spring game, I got 4 tickets today, and I'm not going to complain. Normally the spring game is free, but they have limited attendance this year. Normally there's 40 to 50,000 fans there for spring game. This year they're only allowing in, I think, 20,000, something like that, 19,500. And so the tickets went to the IPTE members, which is the people that donate. Right? They basically ate up all the tickets. And then if they didn't want to go, they sold them on the secondary market to people like me. So a $10 ticket cost me $30 ticket. Cost me $30. And it's not even a bad seat, actually. It's not up at the top of the stadium or anything, which I'm excited about. But $30 isn't bad, I guess, considering the circumstances and everything. I think some of these other schools that normally have free entry are doing the same thing as Clemson this year and having limited attendance and selling the tickets for a low price. So we'll see. As long as it doesn't rain, I will be happy. As long as it doesn't rain. All right, let's say cheers to the chat real quick, and then I'll get right to the phone lines. I just pray for no injuries in any of these spring games. I mean, another Georgia Bulldog went down this week. Last week it was what? George Pickens, their number one receiver. And I think it was Burton. Jermaine Burton, is that his name? Anyway, I think he got hurt this week. He's out for the season. This happens every year, folks. It's terrible. It happens at every school. I mean, Clemson's got a guy that just got hurt in practice too. A hot shot freshman defensive back, Makuba. He broke his arm, I think. But he's only supposed to be out for 6 weeks or so. It's not a season-ending deal for him. Thank you, Wilkie. Says Miami is paying. I think he's saying praying. Oh, Miami is paying you to come to the spring game. Right. Yeah, because thank you, Wilkie. I'm slow. I almost didn't get that for a second there. All right. What's up, Matt Dummett? Neo's in the house. Golden Blue Dude. Golden Blue Dude says, I can't wait to have a call-in show. Well, what are you waiting on? I think I was doing a call-in show. Well, I don't know. Look, anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. There's different ways you can do it. Getting people to call is a whole nother situation, though. So, but that's the way it goes when you first start doing the shows. Caleb the Spelling Bee host. Brad Pitt. Nate the Great, the Wolverines fan, or whatever he is this week. Traveling Fools is here. Clemson Carson. Samuel Pate says, what's up, everybody? Go Tigers. John Kelly. Michael Hogg, Rack Dog, Ballard Sports Media. What happened? Hey, Ballard, what happened to 4th and goal, though? Lou told me you fired him and didn't even tell him. Man, that's some cold shit there, Ballard. That's some cold shit. Fire that man on his day off. Well, not his day off, but his day off from your show. What's up, Neo? Dylan Deloney. Go Tigers 504. Shannon Mitchell. Pizza Woman. TikTok Chess Hall. Nick Navarro says pigskin tater. Yes. Yeah, I have a question. If I'm a dad and I'm a tater, does that make my kids tater tots? I think it does, technically. SEC Dog. Uncle Lou is here. Mike Vick. It was just a sprain for Burton. Who's the one that got hurt that everyone's crying about? See, I can't keep up with. I can barely keep up with Clemson's roster. I don't know. Was it somebody else? I mean, all my Twitter feed yesterday, it was exploding with Georgia fans crying about some player that they lost. Why would a sprain make them cry that much? Maddie Sims, Sergeant AR-10, Narcissist Live in the ATL. No comprende. No speaking English. Yeah, but somebody else just got hurt too. I know. I said Pickens got hurt last week, and then just what was it? 2 days ago. I don't know who it was. You're the Georgia fans, not me. They were talking about somebody else. I thought it was somebody named Burton. Jermaine Burton, maybe. I don't know. No, it was not. Okay, I'm going round and round. I'm telling you guys, there was another player besides Pickens, after Pickens, that they were crying about. Look, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry I brought it up. Let's get to the phone lines. Jesus Christ. Phone lines are full. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Yeah, good morning, Pete. It's Caleb that's spelling me, man.
Caleb. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, is there any way that you can, well, no, you're not a moderator, are you?
No, I'm not, sir.
Well, I can change that right now. Is there any way if I make you a moderator that you can post the link to the GoFundMe that I was talking about earlier in the chat?
Yes. Hold on, let me get in my room. I got the niece and
nephew. Well, or you can do it. You can do it when we hang up. I'll be on for another 45 minutes to an hour. So.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, I got it.
So, what's on your mind, buddy?
I just want to talk to you about the Deshaun Watson situation, if that's still relevant, sir.
Well, it is relevant every day. So here's my issue with this, with talking about it, which I don't mind talking about. I'll answer any questions that you have about it. Is that everyone's like, hey man, I've had people like, stop talking about it. Well, look, I'm covering it because he's a former Clemson player, and it's one of the biggest news stories in all of sports right now. We've never seen anything like this before. So why wouldn't I cover it?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, well, just wait for the evidence to come out. Well, I am. But I mean, in the meantime, there's new developments on a daily basis. So I am waiting for the evidence to come out. But so anyway, what's your question about Watson?
I wouldn't say it was necessarily a question. I would say it's just more of a statement. So I'm just curious as to why they just keep going round and round about it. Just like I said on Twitter, man, if I just as you've said before, if this guy's been good all of college and nothing, not even a peep out of him, his whole career out through football. I just don't see how one day he wakes up and sexually assaults or rapes all these women. I mean, I just don't get it, man.
Yeah, I have a hard time. I have a hard time believing it too. Here's the problem. Like there's weird things about this whole thing is weird. It's weird on Watson's side and it's weird on the other side. Like,
yeah.
The only thing that's hard for people to wrap their head around, and it is kind of weird, is why he has so many different masseuses in the past year. So what happened today was his lawyer said, well, we've got 18 women that are willing to say that, you know, he was nothing but professional and it didn't assault them. Well, that's fine. All you did was say that there's another 18 women on top of the 20 whatever that already accused him that he got massages from. But aside from that, though, the prosecuting lawyer in the civil case, Busby or whatever this guy's name is, he originally said we're going to release evidence to the Houston Police Department for criminal charges to be brought.
I saw that.
He said that about 2 weeks ago. You know, right immediately when he started doing this lawsuits. And then today he says, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna give the Houston Police Department any evidence." Now, the reason he gave, is that because the defense attorney for Deshaun Watson's son works for the Houston Police Department. Now, maybe that can be a conflict of interest, but can he recuse himself from being an investigator or interfering in the investigation? Why does his son have to be involved in it? Anyway, like I said, the whole thing is weird. The whole thing is weird. You would think if you had brutally assaulted, well, some cases brutally, according to them, all of these women, that there would be at least a shred of evidence to bring charges against them in a criminal court. But doesn't look like that's going to happen.
And some of them making points like, was he a bad tipper, or did he just mess around with the wrong masseuse, and now, you know, they're all banding together to try to ruin his career or something? I mean, I feel like it's some type of
it's
weird
a wild story. It's a wild story.
I just. Why are you talking to him? Hold on, buddy. I'm sorry, that was my nephew, man.
That's all right.
Why are you talking to him? Hold on.
Tell him you're talking to Pete.
So anyway, I'm talking to Pete, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was that was all weird. So I can't believe this guy, you know, doesn't have any problems all through high school, college. He hits the NFL, and he's been in the NFL for 4 or 5 years. And you know, we hear all these issues. So.
Well, I see Uncle Lou in the chat, and he's got a good point. He says having 45 masseuses is not normal behavior, and I completely agree with that. Here's the conspiracy theory. I'm not saying I buy into this conspiracy theory. I'm just telling you that this is the conspiracy theory that is out there. Okay, is that one of the reasons that this lawyer is refusing to release the identity of any of the accusers is because possibly some or many of them never even gave Deshaun Watson a massage. Like, if he doesn't know who's saying that he did this to them, how can he say whether or not he even got a massage from them? I think that'll all eventually come out unless he does end up settling out of court and having them all sign a non-disclosure agreement where they can't talk about it anymore, and it all sort of just goes away. Unless that happens, if there's any sort of trial, there's a discovery process. I don't think people realize there's a discovery process in law. So the defense lawyer has to be given the identity of the accusers to investigate by law.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
And you can't. It could just be him making up these 45 or whatever masseuses and just being like, oh yeah.
Look, even if only half of them, you know, had interacted with them, or 3/4 of them, or whatever. It is still weird. It's weird behavior, and I think at the very least, he was probably paying some of these women for extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean. But the interactions were consensual, and they said, "Hey, you know, they said, hey, it's an opportunity to make a quick buck, even though it was consensual. You know, who knows?"
That's what I was feeling. I felt it was a situation where, you know, he either, you know, like you said, had extracurricular stuff with them, and they're all like, just as you said, hey, let's make some money. Let's put this guy on blast, because I just don't believe that this person that's been fine all throughout his life he wakes up one day and sexually assaults all these women. So I just wanted to get it from your perspective, sir. See how you felt about it.
Well, that's my 2 cents. I'm just doing like everybody else. I'm skeptical of all of the accusations. I'm not saying they didn't happen. I'm skeptical though, and I'm just waiting for more information to come out. I mean, to this point, we don't have anything other than what people are saying. That's all we've got right now. So we'll see. I have a feeling the truth will eventually come out in one way or another.
And if you're trying to have a serious prosecution or a serious case, he said, she said is not good evidence at all.
Well, it's not. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't work in criminal court. You have to have witnesses or evidence, physical evidence. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking my call, Pete.
Yeah,
and,
make sure you go.
Get to some more callers.
Yeah.
I'll send the link.
Hey, type something in the chat real quick, and I'll make you a moderator. Where I can find you in here somewhere. Yeah, just type something in the chat. Just whatever. I'll make you a moderator, and then you can post a link.
There you go. I put it.
There we go. Okay, sir, you're officially a moderator. You can post a link when you get the chance. All right, Caleb, buddy. We're thinking about you and your pops. Have a good night.
Later, Pete. You too, sir. All right.
There you guys have it. Caleb, the spelling bee host. What's up? You're on with Pete.
What's up, Pete? It's Ballard. How you doing?
Ballard Sports Media. What's up, man?
Yes, sir.
How's it going?
Not much. It's going great, man. We got spring football this year.
Yes.
Spring practices and everything. And when's Clemson's spring game? Is that this weekend or when's that coming up?
When did you turn the show on? I talked about it for 10 minutes at the beginning of the show.
I wasn't here at the beginning of the show, but
yeah, okay.
So I must have missed it.
Yeah, it's this weekend.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask you, are you looking when you're watching this spring game on Saturday or whatever? I guess, are you looking more towards the offensive side? Like, okay, how's it going to look with DJ and I guess the up and coming guys? Because you guys lose quite a bit there. Or are you looking to see how the defense improves? Which side are you looking at mostly this Saturday?
Well, I don't think I'm looking at either side more than the other. We're returning most of the guys on defense, but we have a couple of young guys coming in that are, highly we're highly recruited. I've seen DJ play in 2 real games, so I don't really need to learn much about him that I didn't already know. I guess probably looking more forward to the offensive guys. Some of these receivers that were injured last year, Ngata and Ladson. Of course, we got a couple of guys that were freshmen last year, E.J. Williams. And then, of course, some of the new running backs that are coming in to replace ETN. So, and, of course, the offensive line. And see, it's hard to get a real judge of the offensive line in a spring game because they're not really going 100%, in the rush and whatnot. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I might try to watch it and keep an eye on it and all that. I think Alabama has theirs coming up next weekend or whatever. I don't know. It's like I think it's actually like the 3rd Saturday in April or whatever. But
the 17th.
I'll definitely be looking forward to Clemson. Yeah, the 17th. That's it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of spring games on the 17th. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if there's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing is how is Bryce Young going to do? And then, because, you got to think, Bama wins a championship, and they're in a position where LSU was a year ago, if you think about it. The only thing is
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well, we're used to seeing it from Alabama, and we know how they bounce back from it. But, you think about it. We're losing Mac Jones. Waddle's gone. Devontae's gone. We're losing our offense.
Yeah, well.
Defensively, we got guys that keep stepping up, but I mean,
yeah, I don't know if I'd worry. So, I mean, look, Alabama's they're not LSU at this point in time. They lose, so many people to the NFL every year. It's ridiculous, and they reload.
Yeah.
There's a handful of teams in the country that do that. Alabama's one of them. I would be more concerned if I were an Alabama fan, not about Mac Jones being gone, but I'd be more worried about Steve Sarkisian being gone. Of course, you got Bill O'Brien now, right?
I was not high on that Bill O'Brien hire
Yeah.
at all.
Well,
fans in general were not high on it.
Yeah. Look, he turned out not to be great in the NFL, but that does not mean he's not a great coordinator in college. I mean, he's proven to be a great coordinator in college when he was at Penn State. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things like that can coach an offense or a defense and can be a coordinator, but to manage and be in charge of an entire team at once, they can't do, and that's okay. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how it works out. I think, I think it'll be great, but I don't think the offense is going to be as prolific or elite like it was last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, it's hard to get much better than they were last year. I mean, they were unbelievable. So anyway,
yeah, absolutely.
Good luck to your Tide during the spring game. I hope nobody gets hurt. But I do hope that I hope they don't look as good as they did last year. Thank you. Have a good night. Oh, damn it. I meant to ask him about firing Uncle Lou. You fired Uncle Lou on Uncle Lou's day off. Man, that's some cold shit. Thank you, Ray Finkel's house. Says Doug Flutie is better than the Miami Hurricanes. Thank you, Ray Finkel's creepy bedroom. You're amazing and fantastic, sir. Bryce is a hell of a talent. Yeah, Golden Blue Dude says, guys, y'all are not hitting the like button. How many likes we got in here? Like 38 people watching. I can't even tell how many likes. My phone says, well, never mind. Yeah, hit the like button, please. What's up, your own Pete?
Good evening, Pete. This is Edward calling in. How you doing on this awesome Wednesday night?
I'm amazing and fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Good.
Did you get rain? Did you get some rain where you're at, or no?
Yes. It rained for the first time in 2 weeks, and then the temperature dropped.
Oh.
Yes.
Man, crazy. I thought it was gonna end rain here, and it was starting to rain, and I was vacuuming up water. Ugh. Sucks. I hate doing that, but we got to do what we got to do, you know.
That's right, Edward.
Yes. Oh, and I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about Todd Rundgren?
I don't know that I have any thoughts about Todd. Or who is that? I don't even know who that is.
Singer. Singer. Yeah.
Can you tell me about Todd Rundgren?
I know that he's a singer. I believe he's a singer. I haven't really read up on him. I need to look him up.
So you don't know who Todd Rundgren is?
Well, I believe he is a singer.
But you're asking me what I think about him, and you don't even know who he is.
That would be weird, isn't it? Well, anyway, I'll just forget about that. I'll just look up. I'll just look it up, and then I'll come out with it maybe next time. Anyway, as far as, like I said, this Deshaun Watson whole thing, I think someone, what is it? Oh, yeah, Caleb kind of brought that up, or whoever brought it up. Yeah, I think that I like to see just evidence. If he's really, I want to see the evidence before anything. I just think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just getting old. I know it's in the news a lot, but it just needs to just... Come on, look, show the evidence.
Yeah.
It's really true.
Yes.
That's how I am.
Thank you, Edward, for the call. I already talked about that for about 15 minutes with Caleb. But Edward did absolutely destroy Deshaun Watson. If anybody hasn't heard that on the Lunch Money Show on Monday night, he took care of Deshaun Watson in the trash talking session. I mean, half of it you won't be able to really understand what he's saying because he's just going for 5 minutes, whatever that is. But the other half was pretty funny. Thank you, Edward. Talk to you in a couple weeks. Thank you for the super chat. Golden Blue Dude says, breaking news, Golden Blue Dude has hired Uncle Lou. So, did Uncle Lou upgrade? Uncle Lou. So this is like the situation when you get fired from a job and you're like, man, damn it, I got fired from the job. And then a couple of days later, you get a call from an employer for a better job than the one you got fired from. Is that what happened here? Golden Blue Dude hired Uncle Lou and because in lieu of Lou getting fired by Ballard. Thank you, sir. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Pete, sir, how are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? Slim Shady Kane's in the house.
I'm a little disappointed in you, sir.
You're disappointed in me? What did I do?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, at last check, you're sitting dead last in our little bracket challenge.
Oh yes. Well, you know what? You should be disappointed in me. That's a pitiful performance. You're not one of these people. I don't think you are. You're not one of the people that's always asking me as soon as college, as soon as the football season ends. Hey, Pete, why don't you try doing some live streams for basketball this year, or doing some basketball videos for college basketball? And I always tell them because I don't know anything about college basketball. I mean, I probably watch 3 or 4 regular season games a year. If it just happens to be on and I'm home. And then I watch a couple of 2, 3, 4 games in the tournament. Mainly the Sweet 16 and the Final Four or whatever. Unless Clemson's in it, then I'll watch whatever, whenever they play. So my knowledge about basketball is not only terrible, it's awful and terrible. So now, but to get in last place out of 47, what is there, 47 or 48 people in there?
Somewhere around 50.
Yeah. Here's the good news. Here's what I'll say about that. In my defense, whoever comes in second place is going to win just as much money as I did.
That is a very, very good
Ding,
point.
ding, 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 ding.
That is correct, sir.
And on top of that, if we do this bracket challenge again next year, I have nowhere to go but up. If I got last, I can't get any worse than last place. So next year I'm improving no matter what. So I have something to look forward to.
Now, on the brighter side of things, you don't have to know anything about college basketball to win a bracket challenge either.
I know.
I don't know anything about college basketball, and I'm winning.
Yeah, exactly. See, look, it's a crapshoot. It's with these brackets. Who would have thought? What was there? There was something like 16 upsets. That's like a record, and nobody gets that. Who is?
I did not pick anywhere near that many upsets.
Well, no.
I picked a few because you always have some.
Yeah, who's the billionaire guy? What's the guy I'm thinking of? His name. I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, he does this thing every year where he offers, if anybody in America gets a perfect bracket every single game right, then he'll give them $1 billion. Does anybody know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name. I know what you're talking about.
So, but nobody's ever done it. Like, I guess you have to have an online bracket, so he knows it's valid. But no one's ever done it. So, but some people like Mrs. Peete would have beat me in the bracket challenge this year, and she probably would just have picked the teams that she likes the best uniforms or something. So maybe I'm gonna do that next year as a joke. Just pick the uniforms I like the best in every game, and then see where I finish. Warren Buffett, thank you, Michael Hogg. That's who it is, Warren Buffett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I just, throw a couple of random darts at some upsets I think that might happen, and then basically run with number 1 seeds.
Yeah. I didn't even have a strategy. My strategy was to be a complete homer. I knew before I even started, I'm just going to pick Clemson to win every game, to be an idiot, for a joke. And then outside of that, I'm just going to try to get a bunch of ACC teams in the Final Four. So, I just was manipulating those wins based on if it was an ACC team against a Big Ten team, I would pick the ACC team to beat them type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was. I mean, there was really no logic at all that went into it, and you see the result of that. So I won't do that again next year. I promise. But here's a fun fact for you, for all the ACC haters out there saying that ACC sucks in basketball. The ACC has won 8 national championships in basketball since the last time the Big Ten won one. How about that? Did you know that?
Somebody said Big Ten can't win anything.
Big Ten can't win anything. You know, well, they did win the first year of the college football playoff. Give them credit for that. Ohio State won. But since then, they haven't been able to win it.
Well, I still make the argument that Ohio State should have been in there. They didn't win their division or their conference.
Oh, was that the year?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they got in, and they were on their third string quarterback. Remember, their first 2 went down. Whenever they played against Alabama in the semifinal, they had Cardale Jones, the 12 gauge they called him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that year. That famous Jameis Winston flub.
Oh, when they got destroyed by Oregon.
Backwards.
Yeah, they got destroyed by Oregon. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy to see that.
And then Oregon got destroyed by Ohio State in the national title.
Well, these things do happen.
Yeah. They do.
Now, speaking of that Ohio State team, do you know what Ezekiel Elliott was on that team?
Yes, he was.
He has in common with Forrest Gump.
I don't know what.
Both of them ran all over Alabama.
No. Please don't do it.
Oh, no. You're not lying, though. Didn't he have like 200 yards in that game and like 3 touchdowns or something? I mean, it was some crazy thing. He did run all over them.
Oh, yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it would be funny except for the fact that Alabama's been the most dominant team in college football since that day. So.
Well, all good things do come to an end.
Yeah.
And I've heard predictions that, Alabama's nice little run may end come September.
Oh, you're predicting that Miami's going to beat Alabama.
I just said I've heard rumors.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Miami has a shot, a long shot, but they have a shot.
See, I haven't even looked at betting lines. Have you looked at any betting line on that, like an early line?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Well, see, early lines, I mean, they don't really. It's going to change a million times between now and September because of who gets hurt on whatever team and is Derek King going to play and this and that. But I have to imagine no matter who's playing, they're going to be favored by at least, I don't know, 17 points. Maybe.
More than likely. Derek King, it's pretty much been said will play. I mean, they were tempted to let him practice in the spring, but they erred on the side of caution.
So when's the first time he'll be able to step on a field? Do you even know that? I mean, will it be the fall practice or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be in the fall.
Which starts when? Beginning of August, end of July.
August, it'll begin. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I think there's a shot. I think, and a lot of it's got to do with the fact that it's the first game. They're going to break in a new quarterback, pretty much all new receivers, a new offensive coordinator. I think if there's a shot, that's the time would be game 1.
I think this whole the only. I don't think Miami's going to win the game. I'm going to go ahead and say that first, no matter who's at quarterback. But,
I'm not betting the mortgage.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, no, but I get you. Look, there's always upsets. It's not like Alabama. It's not impossible to beat them. We see upsets week 1 every year. Now, I do think the greater chance for the upset comes if Derek King is not only playing, but if he's able to be 100%. And by the way,
Right.
It doesn't really hurt Miami's season that much if they do lose that game because it's week 1 and it's to Alabama of all teams. Unless they get completely blown out, that might hurt them. But really, it's not even worth putting Derek King in to play against Alabama if he's not 100% because you need him for the rest of the year. I mean, Alabama's, it's the most, it's the most shiny, glittery game on the schedule, I guess you want to say. But it's not even the most important game on their schedule.
No, it's really not. To me, obviously, Florida State's going to be vastly more important, even though they're worse team.
Yeah, Florida State and
is going to be a more important game.
Yes. Literally every ACC game out, is going to be more important than the Alabama game because the goal at this point is to get to Charlotte, and the game has nothing to do with that.
Absolutely.
So.
And then, you make it to Charlotte, you never know what could happen. That's why they play the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Those and Clemson's almost got upset several times. Remember that year they almost got beat by North Carolina on that onside kick, that controversial onside kick call? And
yeah. I mean, there was a couple years ago, I think it was at 2017 when Miami went on their little run. Clemson lost to Syracuse, but we beat them. Didn't necessarily mean Miami was a better team than Clemson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I always say if you're good enough to make it to a championship game, even if you're outmatched, you always have a chance. And then if you're good enough to make it to a college football playoff, you have a chance. Maybe an outside chance, but you have a chance.
Yeah, I don't think Miami's there yet.
No, I'm not talking about Miami necessarily, but every year it's like, oh, why does Notre Dame in there? And it's like, well, I mean, they're undefeated. Like, how do you not put an undefeated team in there? We could go and this is something that the college football world is split on.
It is.
The Notre Dame
I
situation.
could definitely put an undefeated team and leave them out, but that's me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could understand if they played schedule like BYU's schedule last year and they went undefeated and you keep them out. But I mean, Notre Dame doesn't play a terrible schedule. I mean, they play the big boys. So, anyway.
Sometimes.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, now I wish they played a championship game too, like they had to this past year, and look what happened. But they still got in. They still got in.
Well, I mean, even beyond the championship game, a lot of people, at this point are kind of saying Oklahoma shouldn't get in until they prove something.
Well, I mean, it's like
the same argument could be made for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Right, I understand that. There's a lot of arguments for and against the situation with Notre Dame, but the bottom line is everyone always is complaining about Notre Dame not playing a championship game and still getting in the playoffs at 12-0. Meanwhile, last year they played whatever it was, 11 or 12 games, and Ohio State got in with only 6, half the amount of games. So what's worse, half the amount of games or one game less? Now, I know that's...
I would definitely say half the amount of games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think any rational person would. But anyway, again,
right?
I don't blame Notre Dame's situation on Notre Dame. I blame Notre Dame's situation on the ACC, and more particular, John Swofford. But
yeah, that definitely could have been dealt with, but it was nice of him to do that and then announce the day that he was going to be resigning from the job right afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, he announced last year, I'm retiring in 3 years. Who does that? Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm retiring. Everyone's like, yes, he's finally retiring in 2022. You're like, what? 2022?
Yeah.
Or 2023 even, maybe. I don't even remember what year. It's something like that. Anyway.
I think it was 2022. It was almost the same press conference, or it might have been one very shortly after. He's like, by the way, I let Notre Dame bent me over, and I'm going to retire in the next couple of years. Welcome.
I can only hope that this new commissioner that comes in holds Notre Dame's feet to the fire and says, look, forget this little pansy arrangement we have where we let you be in the ACC in every sport except for football. You either join or kick rocks. I hope they do that. I hope he does that. And I'm not confident that he will, but I hope he does.
I think even if he tries, they may move on to another conference like they moved on from the Big Ten to the ACC. They may move on.
I don't think the Big Ten. I don't think the Big Ten wants them. I really don't think they do. I think there was a rumor that the Big Ten offered them. I don't remember how long ago was it, 20 years ago or something. The Big Ten asked them to join the Big Ten, and they basically told, give the Big Ten the middle finger. And so, I don't know, maybe they might not want them anymore. Maybe they do. Hell, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Well, like I said, I just know at one time they played a bunch of different sports in the Big Ten like they do the ACC now, except for football. And it's like, it almost seems like the Big Ten got fed up with it, and Notre Dame just moved on to another conference. And I think if the new commissioner tries to hold their feet to the fire, they'll just go try and play a Big 12 schedule or something.
Ugh. That would be interesting. Oh, because they want to stay. Look, and that would mean that they won't be able to play Southern Cal every year, which is they've got to play that game. Trust me. If you ever talk to a Notre Dame fan about canceling that game, they lose their mind. Same thing with Stanford. Those are two teams they play every year. Like, we got to play them. And I think Navy's another one, right? They play Navy every year.
Yeah, I think it's Navy, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway. Listen, Traveling Fools, thank you for the super chat. You'll like this, Slim. He says, Miami 72, Alabama 9. What is that? That's a 63-point spread there. So Miami's going to win by 63 points. Thank you, Traveling Fools. Ray Finkel's Creepy Bedroom says Alabama 72, Miami. They both said it. They clearly...
Hey, is that some kind of premonition? Like some Nostradamus kind of stuff going on Pigskin Pete show?
No. Please don't do it.
Clearly, they've both been drinking. There's no other explanation for it. Oh, man. All right, Slim, I got to run, buddy. I got time running out here, and I got to pick up this last call. Hey, what do you? Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing for Easter? Do you guys do anything? You just stay home and do an Easter egg hunt with the little one?
Yeah, pretty much just hide some eggs in the yard. And
yeah.
Although I don't know, with all the rain we've got, I don't know how well that's going to work out this year.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, but normally you just hide some eggs around and then cut them loose, right? And then that, hide about 100 of those things and they'll be busy for a couple hours looking for them.
That's my plan, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I got an acre's worth of land to hide them on. So.
Oh, man. That's even better. All right. Anyway, man, well, have a good weekend. Have a good holiday. And I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thank you. All right. Slim Shady Canes, everybody. Yeah. What is up? You're on with Pete. Sorry. My little ones are
Hey, Pete, it's Nate
yelling.
the Great.
Nate the Great, the hopeful Wolverines fan. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Pete. I know you have to go in I don't know how many minutes, but I was going to talk about some new emerging rivalries in college football.
Wow. Okay, this actually sounds like an interesting topic here. So, what did you have any in mind? I can think of one, but go ahead.
Well, I know you. Well, the obvious answer is Ohio State and Clemson, but yeah, and but there's four more in mind, but I'm gonna just say 2 or 3. The first one is Ohio State and Clemson. The second one is probably USC and Arizona State. Or the third is let's see.
Maddie Sims says Michigan and Rutgers.
Well,
Ding, ding, ding,
yeah,
ding,
we don't
ding.
talk about
That is correct, sir.
Whatever. But I think Michigan State and Ohio State. Because
That's
I
a
think
weird
in
one.
what I don't remember what year, but I think I believe it's in 2015 where Michigan State won by a field goal at Ohio State Stadium.
Well, Michigan State's in a bad way right now. I don't see them, I really don't think they're
Well,
going to
I
have
know
anything
that,
for
but-
Ohio State for several years now, so I don't know how much of a rivalry that is.
I know that, but it was emerging rivalry until
Yeah, right.
Michigan State fell down.
I would agree with that, yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, they've been sort of a thorn in
Yeah.
Ohio. Yeah, they've given Ohio State some good games over the recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and there's how about one more, okay? If that's okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Nebraska and Wisconsin.
So,
I mean,
so you're
I know-
basically
I know
what you're
Nebraska-
doing is you're predicting at this point that Nebraska is going to get a lot better
Well,
because Wisconsin has been the second best team in the Big Ten behind Ohio State for years now.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
for
but-
for that to become a rivalry with Nebraska, who's been one of the worst teams in the Big Ten for the past several years now, they would have to improve massively.
Well, I could change. Anyway, I won't change it, but
Yeah, don't change it. Stand.
I had-
Say it with your chest, Nate. Nebraska and Wisconsin. Pete, deal with it. That's what you need to say. Deal with it, Pete.
deal with it.
There you go. That's my boy.
Rex.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
are you gonna be on the? Well, not be on the show, but are you gonna be on in the chat tomorrow morning?
For the morning show with Uncle Lou.
Yeah. I'm gonna be
Maybe.
on it.
Oh, you're gonna be on.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. It
Yeah.
depends. Sometimes I can make it in there. Sometimes I can't. But normally, if I can't make it in there, I'll listen to it later or something. But
Okay.
so what's the topic of discussion for tomorrow morning? Well, you know what? Don't spoil it here. Just everybody listen to it tomorrow morning. Nate.
Yep. That's good. Well, let's just hope I won't be late.
Yeah, don't be late.
But,
Yeah, you'll get fired too.
or,
Everybody's firing everybody
yeah,
around here.
Just gonna say that.
Yeah, I've yet to fire anybody.
Yeah, Pete.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a good night, buddy.
All right, buddy. You too. Thank you for calling. Everybody, Nate the Great, the hopeful Wolverines fan. And look, if you're a Wolverines fan, there's nothing to be but hopeful, right? It's like, well, I guess they could get worse, but really there's nowhere but up from here. He's a Nebraska fan too. There's definitely nowhere but up for here from Nebraska because they can't get much worse than they've been. Sort of like Pigskin Pete in the bracket challenge. This next year, there's a 100% chance you're going to improve from the year before. I mean, that's good news. Hopeful. Whoever this last call is, I'm sorry, I got to end the show. Yeah, Daddy Duty is calling, apparently. Yes. Daddy Duty is calling indeed. So. Yes, so thank you to everybody that called in. You're all amazing and fantastic. Hey, anybody that's coming to the spring game this weekend in Clemson, follow me on Twitter if you're not already following me on Twitter. I'll post on there. Now, see, here's the thing. They're saying they're not allowing tailgating, which basically means you're not allowed to set up a tent and pull out a grill, right, and congregate with TVs and whatnot. But they are allowing people to park starting 3 or 4 hours before the game. And as long as you're not out there grilling and, having 30 people out there tailgating like a normal tailgate, they're not going to run you off. So, well, it'll be kind of a tailgate. Like, well, I'm sure we'll get there a couple of hours before the game in the parking lot and hang out in the parking lot area, or maybe even go somewhere up closer to the stadium and congregate around there for a little while before we go in. So if anybody's going to be there, well, I'll post whatever location we settle in, what parking lot or whatever. If we're gonna go up and hang out by the Oculus or whatever it is, I'll post it on Twitter my location. So there'll be a lot of people that can come up there. People that want to hang out. People that want to come beat me up. People, because there's always at least 2 or 3 of those that are going to beat me up when they see me. So anyway, I'll post my location on there. Hopefully some of you guys can come hang out with us. Yes. Let me see here. Yes. Anyway, thank you to all the people that joined to join. Thank you to all the people that hit the super chat. Without this, I could not do the show. Again, for those of you who are in here who weren't in here at the beginning of the show, this will be my last show for 2 weeks or so, or at least it'll be the last live show I do on my channel for 2 weeks. 2 Wednesdays from now. I won't be doing a show this Friday, and I won't be doing any live shows next week because I'll be out of town. So I'll see, I'll miss you guys. I don't remember the last time I went 2 weeks without doing a live show on here or a show of some sort. I don't remember. I don't think it's happened since I started YouTube 3.5 years ago. It hasn't happened. So I'll miss you guys for the couple of weeks. Hopefully you miss me too. So anyway, if I don't talk to you off air or on Twitter or whatever between now and then, have a great couple of weeks. Have a great Easter. Go Tigers. Hopefully nobody gets hurt for any of your teams. Okay? Okay. Good night, everybody. Love y'all. Pigskin Pete is checking out.